Welcome to ADHD Whiskey. My name is Matt. Today we're doing a little bit of research. Today I'm going to see if I'm super stupid or if I'm just normal stupid. See, what happened was this past Friday on my live stream, I blind tasted 24 different samples sent by patrons. What I did was one-on-one, and then the winner would move on against the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one until there was only one left. Everything went smooth sailing. Were there some upsets? Sure. But a lot of fun was had. Then we get to the final 3 samples, and that's where things get a little funny and a little funky. By the way, if you want to go back and watch that, spoiler alert, I'm about to spoil the results. However, I doubt you do because it was 3.5 hours long. So there are only 3 samples left. Trev from Ohio sample versus Carlos Garcia sample. I nose them, I taste them, I declare a winner, I say Trev from Ohio's moving on. I reveal the pour that Carlos sent me and it was Calumet 18. Way to go, Trevor in Ohio, am I right? Then Trevor from Ohio makes quick work of the final sample to move on to become the champion of the evening. Trevor from Ohio is the winner. Time to reveal Trevor from Ohio's pour, and guess what it is? Calumet 18. Son of a bitch. Sometimes you get through a 3.5 hour live stream without looking extra dumb. But other times, Calumet 18 defeats Calumet 18 handily. So today, I'm pouring Carlos Garcia's Calumet 18 versus Trevor from Ohio's Calumet 18. We're gonna taste them blind and we're gonna find out once and for all, for certain, is one of them actually better than the other, or did the other 22 samples I tasted before this showdown just mess me up a bit? Carlos Garcia sample is going in the glass that has the copper sticker on the bottom. Trev from Ohio sample will go into the Glencairn with the teal sticker on the bottom. How will I remember that? Because teal rhymes with steel, and Trevor from Ohio stole the show. Julie Like Wheel of Confusion, please. All right. Which glass is which? Nobody knows. But let's find out if there's a difference on the nose. Glass 1, glass 2. Oh, it smells nice. It smells like Calumet 18. Glass 2. Glass 1. Glass 2. Glass 1. Glass 2. Glass 1. Glass 2. These 2 glasses smell so different. If different meant the opposite of what it means, because these smell virtually identical, Joe. Glass 1. Yeah, glass 2. They both smell deliciously golden and rich and oaky and amazing. Did Carlos Garcia get screwed here? He may have, but there's only one way to find out, and that's for me to taste them, put them down the hatch, declare a winner if I can determine one, and then see if it's Trevor from Ohio still. Glass 1 down the hatch. Wow, that's good. I love that. First sip of whiskey since Friday, and yum. After you taste 22 samples and you do some head-to-heads in that lineup, when you get to the 22nd sample, no matter how good it is, it doesn't necessarily taste good anymore. It sort of makes you sick. Too much of a good thing. Sometimes you eat a bunch of rich chocolate, super rich chocolate, and you say, that is a 1-bite chocolate. I couldn't hardly eat a whole brownie, let alone an entire friggin' pan. But yes, after tasting 20 plus in a 3-hour span, they all pretty much taste not great. And you have to set that aside and dig down deep. Use all the magical powers of your palate. And I felt like I was doing great, but maybe I wasn't. Sample 2. Those taste like they're the same whiskey. The first glass seemed to have a little bit more horsepower to it. It seemed to take over my taste buds more rapidly. It seemed to engulf my mouth with flavor more quickly. However, like I said, it was my first sip of whiskey since Friday, so you can't ever take seriously your first sip of whiskey. You get first sip-itis. I've talked about this a bunch of times. First sip-itis is something that you'll fall ill to, where you think that that first sip is the end-all be-all of bourbon. Not because it's the most fantastic thing you've ever had, but it's the first thing you've had today. First sip-itis. The only remedy for first sip-itis is more sips. So back to glass one. Yeah, still very good. One more sip for glass two. If I could only finish one of these glasses, would I care which one it is? No. These two are so similar and identical, you'd think that they're the same whiskey. Holy shit, they are the same whiskey. But if I want to truly believe in my powers, the Matt Porter powers, the powers of the 2020 world's top whiskey taster. Yes, that was 5 years ago. And yes, I'm still using it to my advantage. If I had to break this down, where I believe mere mortals are tasting on this level, I have to really pump myself up and really get myself involved in the intricacies of the details of what I'm tasting. If I have to use my extra deep abilities here, if I really have to hone my skills, if I want to be considered one of the best to ever do it, what I have to do is bite down on my mouthpiece and go for it. Glass one. Glass two. In my heart of hearts, my gut feeling was telling me that glass number one was the better pour. And I told myself, Matt, go with your gut. And the final sips, I realized how soft and gentle glass two was. And I asked myself, Matt, I do prefer that more. And then I didn't know what my gut said anymore. So I'm not even trusting my gut's reactions because I don't even know, there's a problem with my brain. Although a large part of me, which may not be the majority, but a strong part of me is telling me that glass two is something I enjoy more. I need to go with my initial reaction, the first couple sips, where I thought that glass number one was number one. Therefore, if glass number one is teal for Trevor in Ohio, I completely redeem myself. If it is copper for Carlos Garcia, then I have to admit that Carlos Garcia got screwed. And I should have picked glass two tonight to make myself not look as bad. So, color is... Son of a bitch! Damn it! Oh, Carlos Garcia got so screwed. Sorry, Carlos. My name is Matt. This is ADHD Whiskey, like I always say. Keep your head in the clouds, but your mind on making decisions in real time and then reflecting on them a couple days later to see if those decisions were accurate and or if you owe an apology to Carlos Garcia. And I refuse to apologize. I don't think Trevor in Ohio cares. Trevor in Ohio won, and he won fair and square, according to him. Could I go back and say the glass two was better and then reveal glass two as teal, Trevor in Ohio, and make myself feel better? No. But on camera, I could make myself look better. But in here, where it matters, my enlarged heart with the valves and aortas and stuff, I would know that I was wronging not only me, not only Carlos Garcia, but all of you. I don't even know why I shot this video. I don't even... Good night.